all you're going to need is your stretch strap. That's it for tonight. And just find yourself in a little bit wider than sits bones, shoulders down and away. And just that little rocking back and forth, trying to find that foundation to the floor. Shoulders down and away. And you're just holding that band nice and loose to start with. So from here, we're just going to pull it open a little bit, bring it up. And as it comes up, I just want you to have it wide enough that it's not yanking on your shoulders. Bring it all the way around the back and just turn your palms the opposite direction. So now my palms are facing out. So as I come around, I rotate my wrist and I bring it down. And let's just do a couple of those. Inhale through the nose as it comes up. Exhale as you stretch it open. So you want a little bit of a pull in the pec line as you bring it around. And watch as you're doing it, you don't kind of do one shoulder and then the other. You want the shoulders to come back and around fairly symmetrical. As you come around this time, bend your knees, hips, ankles, roll all the way down. Place the hands towards your shins, quads, or the floor if you're okay. Stretch it up to tall and bend it down. So we're not going into our deepest bend yet. We are in parallel, so it's just a little bend. Go one more time, press it up. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, articulate the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. Pull that band open a little bit, bring it all the way around and press it back. Now stay here, turn your palms so you're facing out and just reach and bring it down. Now notice as you reach, there is a tendency as we press away to fold forward in the chest. Try and keep your chest nice and open and just reach with those palms. Let's go 4 more and down. Exhale 3. And breathe 2. And last 1, let it come down, open, bring it all the way around. And on this one, go wider into passive and come all the way down to the floor, you guys. So come right down into that nice big booty squat. Put your hands down and just kind of give some little movement into the knees, hips, ankles here. So if this is a little tight, come on up here and go with a little bit less range of motion. Perfectly fine. If you're okay, you're nice and deep and you're just articulating the knees, toes, hips, everything's getting some mobility here. And we're just finding that inhale, exhale as we breathe. Leave the heels down towards the ground as you slowly peel up. Turn your feet back into parallel. Bring that band all the way up. Come all the way around. Just keep moving here. I'm just going to let someone in here, you guys. It says pad 2 in waiting room. I don't know who pad 2 is. I'll get a surprise depending on who's coming on. And then hold here. So I just want you to have the band just nicely in your hands. Find yourself in a squat position. Stick the tush out. We're nice and long. Take an inhale here and exhale as you round the spine and hollow and inhale, squat down. So again, exhale, round and hollow and inhale, squat down. So I got to ask, Pat, you're coming up pad 2. Who just joined? I let you in, but I don't know who it is. Keep going in your round and open.
Angela Bowman.
Oh, hey, Angela.
Hi.
I'm like, I don't know who it is. There's no ID there. Hello, Angela. And then press down. Exhale, round and inhale down. Oh, and there comes someone else. Exhale, round. There's Miss Kylie. And lengthen. And one more time. Sorry, guys. Round and lengthen. Hold the lengthen here. Drop your shoulders. You're in a squat position. Get some resistance. Reach the arms just equal to the ears and bring them down. Inhale, reach and bring them down. So if that's a little tight on the legs, stand a little taller. As you bring the band up beside the ears, pull it open a little bit. If you're able to, pull it open slightly behind the back and bring it down. Go 2 more. So we're just holding that squat. And bring it down. And one more time. And press. Now in this one, fold all the way forward and just gently float yourself up towards the sky. Roll those shoulders back. Let's get a little bit of lateral flexion here. Actually, let's go rotation first. Put the band into your hands. Find your hips or your arms about as wide as your hip line. Feet are quite close together. Keep your ASIs to me, you guys, and just rotate your rib cage. And then bring it back. Inhale as you rotate. Inhale to rotate. Exhale, center. Now as you do this, pull with the hand in the back, the direction you're turning to. Give it a little pull for an extra rotation and then bring it back. Go again. Inhale, rotate, give it a little pull. Exhale, back. One more time each way. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Keep your hips square to the front. Last time. Inhale, rotate. Exhale, center. Relax the band. Hold it a little wider. Stretch it up and let's get some lateral. So I'm going to pull that band over to the side, pull the band in, reach the top arm away, lean your hip. Go ahead and press into here. Now take both arms, reach them away slightly and feel the stretch into those lateral, into that nice lateral feeling. Let the bottom hand drop and just give me a little stir of the pot. Let your shoulder go. Inhale through nose, exhale through mouth. Stir the arm the other direction. And then slide your hand back into place. Come forward all the way to the front. And then just roll those shoulders, give it a little shimmy there. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way up again. Watch the shoulders are shifting down. And then take it all the way to the side. Bring that bottom arm in, send that top arm out. If you're a little bit tight here, you can do that gentle little pulsing, or go ahead and just hold. Reach both arms just a little bit farther. Breathe as big as you can into the intercostal muscles on the side of your body. And then let that arm drop down and stir your pot. Nice and loose in the shoulder. And then when you're ready, stir the other direction. Just let the shoulder totally go loose in its socket. Grab hold of that band. Rotate back down to the floor, bring it all the way around, and then just roll those shoulders. Just give them a little roll. Go ahead and take your band, open it up quite wide, and just place it at the very, very front, right at the front. Have your tails equal lengths on both sides. We're just going to do a little flow here. So find yourself at the back of your mat. Reach the arms up nice and strong. Come around the corner, bend the knees, hips, ankles, find the hands to the floor. Walk out into your 4-point stance, you guys. 4, 3, knees down on 2 and 1, uncurl the toes. So a little bit of sternum drop, pull the abs in, drop through your shoulder blades, exhale, press away. So it's a neutral spine, neutral pelvis, and I'm just moving through the scapula. Keep going with that, gang. I'm just going to turn my monitor and flatten it a bit. There, I can see you guys a little better. That's better. So go ahead and flatten down and press away. Inhale, exhale. Now on this last one, push away, stay away, curl your toes under, and I just want you to sit back into your toes. So a little bit of pins and needles. So remember with this, the tendency is to sickle out on the ankles. We want to try and get a nice stretch on the big toe. Try and get those toes right underneath you and sit your weight back. Having said that, arthritis, bunions, anything like that, this just may not be an achievable option. So be careful with it. Nice and strong. And then come forward into your 4-point stance. Again, not happy on the wrists, ottoman, go on your elbows. From here, draw your abs in, lift an inch, just an inch. Hang out here in our short plank. Shoulders sneak into your back pockets. And I just want you to cycle your breath. Inhale and exhale. Think of drawing the abdominals up and into the spine. So both up and in. One more breath. And then lower the knees, uncurl the toes, widen out your legs, and just push back into a child's pose on this first one. I'm going to bring my hands in, fold my forehead into my hands, and just move my neck from left to right, giving a little bit of a stretch there. Inhale, exhale. And then bring yourself right back into the hands, nice and strong. Come back up strong in your 4-point. Bring your feet back into more parallel. Curl the toes, shoulders down. Lift an inch, short plank 1. If that's a nice challenge, stay there. Otherwise, you're going to short plank 2. One leg lifts up. Don't straighten the leg. Just lift the leg up at hinging at the hip and then bring it down. So the knee itself doesn't change as I march from left to right. I just open my hip. So I'm opening my hip into extension and bringing it down. Squeeze the glute as you march from left to right. Sneak your shoulders into your back pockets. Draw your belly buttons in nice and strong. Go 2 more. And 1. This time we're going to a down dog or elephant. Lift the hips and press yourself back. Now, if this is tight, lift the heels, bend the knees a little bit. If you're okay, push the heels down. Take your mind's eye to your shoulders. Sneak them away from your ears. So if your hands are too close together, your arms are too close together, that will be difficult. Widen out your hands, sneak your shoulders away, and now drop down into your chest line. Feel that stretch. Let your head just sort of dangle there. Allow it to just kind of lengthen out. Couple good breaths here. And then come forward out of your upper body a little bit and just pot the floor. So let's get some alternating presses. Again, if this is hard on the upper torso or the wrists, do it against the wall, you guys. You can alternate doing it against the wall. Now push both heels down, rise up, and bring your knees all the way down to the ground. Uncurl your toes, paddle out those shins a little bit. Let's give them a little paddle. And then come into nice and tall. Grab your band, actually. We're going to put that band back there, but grab it. Fold it in half so it doesn't have as much elasticity to it, so that it's a little tighter. Take it behind your back. Now, if you can hold your hands together, you're welcome to. If you can't hold your hands, you're going to put your hands into the band, and you're going to slide that down your back end. Once you have it down the back end, without changing your chest line, you're just going to extend those arms behind, and then lift your heart and just hang into your breath here. Now, if this is okay, you're going to go back to your pins and needles. I'm going to curl one toe under, curl the other. If my knees and my toes will invite, I'm going to sit back into my heels. From here, I'm pushing the arms away, and now I'm going to lift my thoracic spine. So I've got arrow pose with a little bit of nasty pins and needles, and I'm trying to open up my breath here. One more big breath, guys. And then slowly let that all come out. Just go ahead and throw that band. We'll fix it up later. Just throw it ahead. And we're going to go into the pouncing cat. So find your hands what feels a little too far forward. And then we're going to pounce forward and come out. So I'm coming forward into a supported spine. I'm on my knees. If this feels good, the knees are coming off, right? And we're pouncing with full movement forward and backwards. You don't have to take the knees off. If you feel okay with it, go right ahead. We're going to change the legs here a little bit. If you're not comfortable with this part, don't add it. I'm going to drive a knee forward as I come forward over my wrists and then put that foot back down. I'm going to alternate this pattern. If I'm on my knees, it looks like this. Knee in and down. Knee in and down. If I'm up on the toes, it's a little more powerful. Let's go 4 more. Breathe. 3. And 2, and 1. Leave the feet back there, push the hips, and step the feet in slightly to get that stretch in the calf line. Here I'm going to add that little poodle wag left to right. On this movement, again, lift the heels, bend the knees if your hamstrings are tight, and try and come out of those shoulders as you wiggle your tailbone from left to right, getting some lateral flexion. Walk your hands into your feet in 4, 3. Now, if you can't get your hand flat, bend your knees so you can. Don't fingertip this. On 2 and 1, we're all the way in. Look through your legs. Let your head dangle at the top of your spine. Big breath. And then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, articulate your spine. Big inhale as we reach to the sky. Exhale, bring the hands down, center heart, and give a little wiggle. Go ahead and take that band. And we're just going to do a little bit of leg pattern in standing. We're going to do our side leg series, but we're also going to do a little bit of warrior. So this is at the very, very front of my mat, and I have equal tails or lines on each side. Take one leg, plant it. So I'm doing my left and planting it right over top of the band with my arch, more so on the ball of my foot. And then my back leg is actually going to go into warrior. All right, so it's not going into lunge. I'm going right into lawyer. I'm going into lawyer today. And then from here, I'm going to lunge into that leg and out. So just start this pattern first. Start this pattern first before we worry about that little band. So get that nice and strong. Look at that front knee and make sure it's not collapsing over the big toe. It can go over the big toe, but it's not collapsing to the inside of the big toe. You've got a little bit of awareness into that glute. Now lunge down and go ahead and grab the band with both hands. The hand on your back side is just going to dangle there. It's not doing anything. It's just hanging there. This hand, I'm going to wrap once so I don't have to death grip. And then I'm going to pull this arm. I'm going to go down. I'm going to pull. I haven't rotated much yet. Once I get this row and pull, I'm going to add a rotation and come around the corner and look. Inhale down, exhale row. Inhale down, lean right into that glute and hamstring and get that strong lunge forward. We're still in the warrior. Nice. Go 4 more. Go as tight as you want on your band, you guys. 3 more. And 2. And 1. Now face it this direction. Take your back leg, rotate it, and bring it in a little bit. So now you're in more of a lunge. Take both hands, wrap, And we're just going to do a little tricep kickback. So take your arms, hold them down, get into your lunge, lean forward slightly, and kick your elbows back. So I'm freezing here, nice and low. If I need to come a bit higher, I can. If I feel unbalanced, I can still turn that foot back into that warrior, which is a bit more stable. So I'm just pressing into my tricep, slightly leaning forward, should feel that front glute turning on here. 4 more. Try and kick those elbows out straight. 3. Exhale, 2. And last 1. And then slowly soften the knee down. Uncurl and just lengthen that band back out. So from here, I'm going to take that front foot, and hopefully it won't stick too much to my band, and pull forward into my hip flexor stretch. If this feels okay, your hands can go and just press away. Still okay, reach with one arm, reach with the other. Still working for you, reach the hand back, bring the leg up, and rotate open to the front. So you choose where you're going here, but try and get your shoulders facing the front on this. Couple inhales, exhales. If you have any knee joint issues, go ahead and put a pad underneath your knee, right? Especially if you're on hard floor. Slowly let that go. Push out of your hip. Laterally rotate out that front leg. Knee, hip, ankle rotates out laterally. Come down. If you're a bit tight, maybe it's just the hands. If you're feeling good, go right down to your elbows. Deep as you want, you can go right down there. Couple breaths. Take your free hand, the one closest to the leg in the front, push gently on the knee and give me a little gecko as you peek up to the sky. Couple inhales, exhales here, you guys. 1 more big breath, and then decrease that rotation. Pull your body back into square position and just lean forward into the hamstring. Point and flex that front leg. Inhale, exhale. As you point and flex your ankle, try and point and flex your front leg, you guys. See if anyone can actually do that. Take both hands to the front of the leg and bring that leg all the way around. Curl the toes under. Before you lift up, just go ahead and straighten out that band. Make sure your tails that are off the mat on each side are fairly equal. Otherwise, when you pull, it'll be awkward on the biceps, right? Lift, find the stretch. Give a little poodle into your down dog. And then walk your hands to your feet again. 4, 3, bend the knees if you need to. On 2 and 1, we're all the way in. Dangle, look through your legs. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, curl the spine. Big breath up to the sky. Exhale, hands down center heart. Give a little shimmy. Let's get the other leg. So I'm going to step forward with my right leg this time. And my left leg is going into that warrior. So this time I have my back to you a little bit. Watch your knee. I'm just going to turn to the front here. So when we set this, as I fall, that was not very graceful. When we set this up, there's a tendency for this knee to sort of knock on into the inside. I want you to try and think of taking that knee so it's kind of not worried about where the knee is going over the toe. If it goes over the toe, it's mobility. We're all good there. We're not heavy weighting here. But what I do want you to do is push that knee out a little bit so it's more tracking by the baby toe, right? Versus collapsing in as you start that little down and up, right? Down and up. Beautiful. Now, if you want to get a little deeper, you can go ahead and move your back leg farther back and then press down and up. So after you've done a few of these and you're happy with your positioning, sink down and go ahead and grab that band. The hand on the back of the leg is just going to stay in a tight position. The other hand is going to wrap, and we're going to start a little bit of a row with a small amount of rotation to start with. Don't be shy here about still getting right down into that glute and hamstring as you do that forward lunge, and then rotate. Now let's get bigger on our rotation. Rotate and look right over that back shoulder, and then down, exhale up. If you can get that front leg going to straight as you push away, do so. Full range of motion in that leg. Let's go 4 more. 4, and 3, draw your shoulders down, gently draw your abs in, last 2, and 1. Now stay in the lean forward, sneak your back leg in a little bit, so you kind of press and pull in, and then rotate it into parallel. Bring up your chest, tuck your tailbone slightly, and just start that first little lunge position. First little lunge. Now we leaned forward and did triceps on the other side. I'm going to loosen my bands. Point my thumbs to the sky. I'm going to do a bicep on this one. Come down, press up. So instead of doing tries, I'm now doing a bicep. Drop down as you do your bicep. Lengthen up as you straighten the arms. Go for 5. Yeah, there it is. And 4. Nice. And 3. Last 2. And on the last one, stay down there and lower that knee. Let that band go. Just move it right out of your way so you don't kind of triple over it. And then pull into that hip again. Shoulders down, lift the heart if this feels good. One arm, both arms still feels good. Grab that back leg. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy that stretch. I'm still trying to stay out of going very deep. Mary's like, are you going into that hip flexor? She's watching, I can see. I'm not. See, Mary? I'm being good. I'm being very good. Now, come out of that carefully. Laterally rotate out the front leg. Lengthen in there. Hands go down. Deepen into it. If you can go down to your elbows, go right ahead. Inhale, exhale. If it feels good, you're going to take that elbow or that hand, push it gently into the knee, and rotate open. Again, you want to be pushing your booty forward. I'm pushing my back. I'm pushing mine away. I'm staying out of this stretch for a reason. You go ahead and pull that hip forward and get into that nice stretch here. Couple inhales, exhales. Gently come out of that. Bring everything into parallel. Drop the ball of foot and bend down into that nice little hamstring stretch. So here I can move through my ankle, pushing it forward and backwards. Just getting a little bit of mobility there. Gentle drawn of the abdominals. One more big breath, and then both hands to the inside of the front leg. Bring that leg all the way around. Hands strong. Grab your band. Just have it close, so when you roll up, you can grab it. Just kind of put it by your knees. Curl your toes, lift. Find your little down dog again. Give some little wiggles, and slowly walk your hands in as many counts as you want, all the way into your feet. Grab that band. Let your head dangle. Bend the knees. Fold that up. So instead of doing side leg lift series, lying down, traditionally, we're going to do it in standing. It's just a nice standing one. So you're going to put it around the biggest part of your booty, and then you're going to pull it around and tie a little bow in the front. So if you have a really tight band, if you have a fairly strong band, you might want this looser. If you have a band that's got a lot of elasticity to it and it's quite flexible, you might want it a little tighter than just the booty. From there, take it down to around your ankles. From here, instead of being now, if the knees feel better in parallel, stay in parallel. What I definitely don't want is a lateral rotation getting into hip flexor and quad, right? I do want either parallel or ever so softly internally rotated, so we get a little more glute min. From there, get down just a little bit into your squat and just start a side to side. It's nice and low. So we're staying low the whole time. And we're not bringing the legs together. The tendency is that the feet are going to turn out into lateral. The body's going to want to go lateral. Keep your toes and heels, kind of your toes turned in and your heels turned out. Now I'm going to take it to the point where I'm actually going to rotate my knee and my hip in a little bit. In. So that tap is a little bit of a medial rotation going on there. Beautiful. Now get nice and low. And let's just go ahead and just add a little punch. Just get the heart rate coming up a little bit here tonight. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. Now stay here, stay low. We're going to scooch twice. 1, 2, touch. 1, 2, touch. Yes. Now if you don't want to jump, just stay low and scooch without a jump. If you're okay, add a little hop in there. When you come back down, get into the legs and go low. You got it. 4 more. 3. You feel the outside of that little booty. And 1. Now stay in the center. Stand tall. I have no sense of balance, so I'm going to stand tall and hold on to something. You don't have to. If you've got balance, don't. I'm going to slightly bend my standing leg, have a small turnout. This leg is going straight out from my hip. I'm going to teeter-totter out to the side of it and lift lower. Whew. Lift lower. Watch in this movement that you haven't laterally flexed to find the position, that you hinge at the hip and lift through the leg. Now, if I look at my leg, I'm trying to lead with my heel slightly higher than my toes, so I feel that glute happening. right? So don't rotate your hip open. Now pulse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand tall. Sneak that leg out. So that's like side leg series 1. Now I'm going to teeter-totter. Maybe I can go farther. Point the toe. Side leg lift series 2. Circles. Harder. Move farther away from your anchor point. Watch that there's no lateral flexion happening in your spine, that the movement is from the hip. Go ahead and circle the other way. So you should see your leg come into peripheral and then circle and go out. Squeeze that butt cheek. Go 3 more as you extend the hip back. 2 more. And 1. And then let it come all the way out. We will get a stretch, I promise. Give it a little wiggle. Slide that foot back in there, and we're just going to go do the other side. So from here, I have a small lateral rotation. I'm going to bend into that. Place your hand wherever you need. Now, if you're okay to teeter-totter farther, go right ahead. It's harder on the stability leg, right? Turn your standing leg slightly in. Lift, lower. When you're doing this, try not to let the movement just go, right? Let the band hold that lengthened position briefly, right? So when you pull it open, hold it there for a brief moment. 4 more. Draw the abs in, shoulders down. 3. Exhale, 2. And 1. Now pulse it. 5, 4, little breath. 3, 2, 1. Stand up, sneak that leg out of there. Harder, move farther away, and you can take your foot right out if you want. And then here, remember, you're going to not laterally flex, you're going to hinge. Standing leg slightly turned out, knee is bent, and now I've got my circles. So from straight view, I have that hip coming straight out from my hip socket. I'm going to go forward of midline and back. So I'm going forward and backwards. If you need to bend the knee, but you're still getting the hip movement, perfect. Just decrease your lever length. That's okay. Go the other direction for 4 and 3. Nice big turns. And 2 and 1. And as it comes down, teeter-totter to tall. Beautiful. Give a few little wiggles. We're going to get that stretch right away. Come towards the front of your mat. Untie your band. Give that a little pull. We're going to use it for some seated. If you know you're tight in the hamstrings, in seated and lower back position, have some type of, some type of pillow or something to sit on. So we're just going to do one big massive squat here in lateral rotation, so passive squat. Legs are in turnout. I'm going to come right down with my tailbone as deep as I can. I'm rounding my spine. I'm going to roll back and then sit up on my booty. So 1 roll and then nice and tall. Straighten out the legs and put your heels into the corner of your mat. From there, if you have a hard time finding a neutral spine in seated position, if you're sinking back here because of tight hamstrings and tight back, rotation won't feel very true. You want to come nice and tall, so you can prop yourself up on your pillow or bend your knees. Take your band, and I want you to bring your feet in closer than where you're actually going to go. Put the band loose around the ball of your foot and the arch of your foot. Make sure your tails are fairly equal on both sides. All right, so just kind of test the length of those. And then take your feet out slightly. So from here, we're pushing out a bit. Now just hold that. And you might have to move your installation a little bit of your butt. Here, I'm going to keep my knees facing up to the sky and work a little bit of ankle mobility. Little ankle strength. So I'm going to do little what we call windshield washers, but I'm going against the band. So I'm trying to keep my foot in dorsiflexion and I'm trying to sweep it open and sweep it in. I'm not far enough back for you to see that. Let's go here. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see there we go. Now they're good. So you're sweeping open and sweeping in, right? The knees aren't moving. You're not rotating through the pelvis. You're just opening and closing with the strength of the ankle and sit nice and tall here. Go 2 more and go 1. Now keep it with a gentle sweep open. Try not to let your feet collapse in. Keep it gentle sweep. Grab both sides of your tails, wrap once, Sit tall and give me a nice row. We're going to exhale, row. So if you're not feeling enough resistance from your band, wrap again. Get a little tighter. In this position, as your arms come forward, control the eccentric and don't let your shoulders pop up around in front of you. Keep them equal to your ears and then pull back with retraction from there. Sitting tall, let's go 4 more. Exhale, 3. Should feel the outside of your legs if you're keeping those feet pushing open, right? So that's working on the outside line as well. Now pull back and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach it all the way forward. Let your toes collapse in so that gets a little bit of a break. And go ahead and round your spine slightly out. And then I want you to sit tall into your sits again. So I'm letting my feet turn in and I'm just dropping down off my sits bones. And then lengthening back in. And then I'm just going to drop back down. Inhale and lengthen in. Just get a little relax on that lower back that's just held you tall. Now come back to tall. Push out on those toes. Cross your straps. The hand that's on the bottom, it's going to hold really loose and just tag to your knee somewhere. Depends on the length of your strap. And then I'm going to I like wrapping so I don't have to death grip my hands with my fingers. I just wrap and it holds. Drop your shoulder down and then pull this into your waistline or your side of your hip, not up here by your ribs. Otherwise you bring your shoulder up. And as you do that, rotate your spine and look over to the far wall. Sit tall. If you need to, if you're tight in the hammies, bend the knees here and find that rotation from the spine. All right, so really be mindful. If you look at your legs, the leg to the direction you're turning is not getting shorter. If it's getting shorter, you're moving your pelvis, right? Rotate from the rib cage. Let's go for 4. Your vision cuts the room in half. Your chin stays parallel to the floor. Last 1. And now I want you to pull this hand and I want you to leave it on the lower part of your ribs. Leave it there. Now your movement is rib cage. Just the ribs. Just the ribs. Are you still actively pushing out on your toes a bit? 3, sit tall. 2, and 1, and de-rotate. Go ahead and let your toes roll in and just kind of round back if you feel that's where you need to go. So roll off those sits bones. And while you're doing that, just switch your anchor positioning. So now bottom hand underneath, top hand switches. I'm wrapping once. Push out with the toes. Drop the shoulders down. If you need to, bend those knees and let's start that row. Exhale, inhale. As you pull, watch you don't pull up. If you tend to pull up, your shoulder will come up around your ear quite nicely. Pull the shoulder and the elbow kind of right through midline. Don't lift it up as you come around. Those upper traps are going to get pretty miffy pretty fast if you do that. Cut the room in half with your vision. Pull your abs in. Let's go 3 more. Rotate the ribs. Again, the leg that gets shorter will be the leg you're pulling to. So be mindful it's not getting short. Pull that hand, hold it by your ribs, right? So I'm holding right here. And then from there, my vision is just looking to the side of the wall. And now I'm going to go a little deeper. Use your obliques to rotate. Your shoulder's anchored now. It's stabilizing. 4, ribs are moving. 3, 2, 1, and de-rotate. Let those toes curl in. Bring your feet right into parallel. Now, if you're not a crampy person, I'm crampy in the feet, but if you're not crampy, you can put the ball of the foot in pointed toe here. That doesn't work well in my body. My one foot just goes into a beautiful cramp. So I'm just going to put it into the ball of foot, strong, not pointed. From here, I'm going to bend the knees a little bit and I'm going to move forward on my mat so my body has somewhere to go. I'm going to wrap once to get a little bit of love. And then as I start to get this going, I'm going to decrease how much I'm holding on the strength. So I'm going more into my body, less into the support of the band. So I'm going to roll off my sit bone and come back into a partial curl. And then inhale and sit forward. So if you're like, this feels good and I don't need to use the band at all, then hold it very loose. If you feel you need the ball or the band, go ahead and use it just a little bit. As you lie down a little deeper, straighten out those arms a bit. So now that sacrum is down, but I'm still rounded. And then I'm going to pull a little bit to come into sits bones tall. Exhale, deep and down. And if it feels okay, you're going to straighten out those legs. And now I'm in this long hundreds position. If you need to bend the knees here, you will. Otherwise, roll it up and sit it to tall. If the legs can stay straight, do so. Scoop off your sits bones, roll it back vertebrae by vertebrae, let your head touch. Right here, your shoulders are lifted. I want you to retract your shoulders back a little bit so you feel an opening there. Then inhale, cervical nod. Don't let your shoulders kind of hunch all the way forward. Use your core, bend the knees if you need to, and fold all the way forward into forward flexion. So we're doing roll-ups with the band. Vertebrae by vertebrae, roll it down. Let your head gently touch. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, roll it up. So even if you don't need the band, keep it, because we are going to lift the legs partway through this sequence. Roll it down vertebrae by vertebrae. So I know some of you can easily do a roll up without the band. Just go ahead and use that band here for tonight. Now on this tall, sit back to tall, scoop down, pull the knees in a little bit, and then we're going to teeter-totter down with the legs up. Beautiful. I'm going to put a bit more of my toes in, but I'm not going to point into them. Again, I will go into cramp. So now my toes are just kind of like they've got a little hat on, and they're in there, and my feet are in the middle, and my legs are in lateral rotation. And now I'm just going to stretch out and pull in. So I've got a nice lateral rotation going. Head is down for these first couple. I'm going to exhale, push to straight, inhale, pull in. Find a gently supported spine. Being that we have the band supporting our legs, you could go neutral here if it feels good. If you feel too much movement in your spine, please give me a little supported spine. Now, as you push the legs out to straight, I just want you to roll up a little bit and come down. Exhale, roll up a little bit and come down. So as I roll up, I'm going to switch my legs into parallel. As I roll down, I'm going to laterally rotate out the hip. So I'm going parallel and I'm coming down. This is going into teaser, guys. So now what I want you to do is put your hands on the outside and bring your knees into tabletop. Knees into tabletop. You've got it, Kylie. If you know where you're going, go. I'm going to cervical nod and roll up into my teaser. Now, if teaser's difficult, I'm just going to keep myself bent. My lumbar spine is in a slight flexion. I'm lengthening through my thoracic. It's not extended, just a bit of length. And then I'm going to scoop a little deeper and roll back down. Knees can bend. If you're like, nah, I'm rocking that. That feels good. I'm going to decrease how hard I'm pulling on my straps. I'm going to straighten my legs out, hovering off the floor. Inhale, cervical nod. I'm going to roll up and go straight legs. If it's working for me, I'm going to reach those hands out to the side, shoulders down and away, hit my teaser. My knees can bend as I go down or they can go straight. Scoop, round, and lengthen down. Try to keep the feet off. Let's go 4 more. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, roll up. Pull the band out to the side. And then scoop a little deeper. Reach away with those legs and roll it down. 2 more. Inhale, cervical nod. Exhale, roll up. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, hold. Ta-da! And then scoop and come down. Really pretend someone's pulling your legs away from you. And last time. Come all the way up. Little push into those arms. And then let's roll all the way home. Bring your knees in. Bring your knees in. Take that band and just lay it across your front. Grab behind your knees, roll up. Let's open up the hips. A little bit of tabletop. So my fingers are going to point to my booty, or they'll point out to the side. What they're not going to do is go this direction to jam out my elbow joint. My heels coming closer to my bum. And then I'm just going to lift, look down my body and make sure I'm not kind of lifted in one side more than the other. And if doable, I'll extend the neckline and I'll squeeze those booties as I come up. Nice big inhale here. And exhale and lower it down. Let's go again 2 more times. Exhale, press it up. So we're getting a shoulder stretch here. The glutes are starting to wake up a bit. The hamstrings are waking up. Bring it down. 1 more time. Exhale and press. Big breath here. And bring it all the way down. Stand long. We're going to do Ron Fletcher New York style leg circles. So you're actually going to use the band for circling. So I want you to just roll down. I'm going to put a headrest in place just so I can see you guys a little better. I also just kind of like a headrest. So rib, hip are staying square in neutral. You don't need a supported spine. It's just neutral. If you're tight, the leg not in the band will stay bent at the knee. If you're not too tight, that leg is going to go straight as if you were standing on the ground with a flex, dorsiflexion in your foot. I'm going to start with bent knee. I'm going to roll up, and I am going to put now an extended foot into my band. Extended foot. I'm going to roll up, get a little tension happening here, and then roll down, and I'm going to pull my elbows down to the ground. I don't want massive tension here. I just want a little bit of a tension, right? If you can, you're going to straighten that leg and stand on it. From here, I'm going to cross midline. When I cross midline, I'm not going to let my pelvis move. So my back is not going to come off the ground. So I'm looking for a hip circle. The magic of the band here is you want to support that body as you do your circles. You're supporting the leg. So it comes up, circles down and away. Inhale and exhale. Doesn't really matter where you do the in the X. Be mindful here. As you pull the leg up, you're not hiking the hip. And as you take the leg over, you're not lifting your side of your booty. Now switch directions. Open and circle. Open and circles. Just feel that nice hip movement. Just allowing that hip to mobilize. As your leg comes up towards hamstring stretch, are you dropping the back and suckering it down to the floor, or are you maintaining neutral in your spine? So you're not letting your spine sort of go tilting forward and backwards into flexion extension, nor are you hiking the mobilizing leg's hip. Keep it steady. And then go ahead, take that leg out of the band, put the band over your belly, and bend this knee to 90 degrees. So this is a modified leg circles, but it involves the twist because the traditional leg circles has rotation in the torso. So my hands are at right beside, and then I'm putting out a little wider. What I'm going to do is roll my hip off, and my bottom leg goes with it. My shoulder stays drawn down. My vision stays to the sky. Now I'm going to try and take my ribs and my obliques and pull myself back to center. Now put this hand on rib hip. Don't let this hip pop, and abduct that leg out to the side. Horizontal abduction. And then bring it back. Now rotate it over. Exhale. Over it goes. Inhale, use your obliques and pull that back to center. Open the leg. So watch, it's not a lateral rotation, that you're abducting. The foot and the knee go out together. And then bring it back. Just one more time. Rotate over. Keep your shoulder down. Let your bottom foot go with it. Bring it all the way back. Keep your bottom leg reaching for the far wall and just abduct the leg out to the side. And then bring it up. Bring that leg down. And as you bring it down, just kind of feel if you're a bit crooked. So my left hip, the leg that was up in the air, it's slightly higher. I went into a hip hike. So just kind of be mindful of trying to keep the pelvis as square as you can on those exercises. So one foot stays down, and now I'm going to put it into the toe of the other one. And this is the New York style first circles without the rotation. I'm going to roll up, find a bit of intensity, and then bend my elbows down. So if it's too much pull, decrease a bit. You do want to feel like this leg is supported so that if it goes to kind of fall, you could actually use your hands and just kind of support it so that you can let go of the hip a bit and then extend the leg if it's comfortable. Watch as you did that. You didn't hike the hip of the leg in the air. From here, we're going to start our circles again. Nice, consistent circles. Elbows stay down. Spine is staying nice and neutral. And we're just allowing the hip to circle in its socket. So as it goes down, we're usually okay. As it comes up to the side here, we tend to hike the hip. And we tend to let the back go into a posterior tilt, and we drop it down, right? Try and stay nice and neutral as you're circling. Let's go 3 more. Just find a nice strong breath and go 2. This one should feel quite nice on the hips. And 1, because we are supporting with the band. Reverse it. So when we do this exercise without the band, it's obviously a bit more connection happening in the hip muscles. Here, I want you to feel those hip muscles just have some nice mobility. Go 3 more. And 2. And last one, bring it all the way up. And just let that band gently come off. Leave it over your belly. Bend this knee to 90 degrees. Hands by your side and then wider. So from here, I'm going to take, and just make sure your rib, hip is square. Rotate the knee all the way over. Your bottom leg goes with it. Shoulder and chest stay looking to the sky. Bring that leg back using your obliques, and then abduct, horizontally abduct the leg out to the side, and then pull it in. So the bottom leg goes with you for the rotation, and then use your obliques and pull it back, and then it anchors, and you open without letting that leg follow, and bring it back in. One more time. Rotate it open. So this is a modified leg circle. Bring it back, hold, and open, and bring it in. Now just put the foot down and try and take an awareness if you have one hip a little higher. If you do, it's probably the leg that was up in the air, right? And that's what we kind of want to watch for. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. Use your legs to roll yourself up. So we're going to get a little hamstring going here. I want you to just come to your knees briefly, and let's tie that around the biggest part of our booty again. Doesn't have to be super tight. And then we're going to wiggle it down the legs so that it's around the ankles just for now. And I'm finding 4-point stance again. So if my hands do not, my wrists do not want to be on that ground, find an ottoman. I'll show you. I hope everyone knows what I mean by ottoman. I've said that before and people are like, what's an ottoman? Right? You've got that some type of little lift so that I could go to my elbows instead of using my hands the whole time. All right, so if you've got some wrist stuff. Now we're going into glutes and hamstrings here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put it around my right foot and my left ankle. My right foot, my left ankle. My left foot is going to be anchored down, and then my right leg is my worker on my glute. So from here, square it up strong, bring the knee off, and now just like that little donkey kick, kind of like we did in short spine 2. If you can, free up your opposite hand, reach it across to rib hip, and make sure you're staying in a neutral alignment. Push away with that hand, and as you exhale, kick your heel to the sky. Now, if that band is just messing with you, take the band off and just do this with the free movement, no band, right? The band is going to make it more difficult. If that's not a happy place for your hamstring, get rid of the band. Let's go 4 more. Watch as you push the leg out, you don't arch your back. Control that lower back. Now pulse it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now go ahead and put it over the ankle and straighten the leg out. So now I'm on my ankle of both. Lift and lower with the straight leg. Lift, lower. Lift, lower. Squeeze the glute against the resistance of the band. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull that all the way in. Go ahead and just child's pose till your toes relax out and give a little wiggle there. And we're just going to switch the lead leg. Couple inhales, exhales. When you're ready, come back into your 4-point. So this time I have it around the foot that's staying on the ground. It's around my ankle. The foot that's pushing to the air, it's around the actual foot. So I'm just going to turn. So it's here and here. Start your knee back a little bit. So right off the get-go, I got to push that leg back a bit. Push away strong, and now kick your heel to the ceiling. As you kick it up, you'll feel your glute squeeze. Watch as you kick it up, you don't collapse in your back. Stay strong. So if you feel yourself collapsing and leaning into the one hip and collapsing into your back, take the band off and just focus on the glute squeezing, the hamstring squeezing, and reaching up to the sky. Secondary to that, are you sinking in your shoulders? Push away with those shoulders. Let's go 4. So there's a lot going on here. 3, and 2, and 1. Now bring it down and sneak that foot around, but straighten the leg. Long and straight. Did we do pulses, Kylie? Did I forget pulse? Oh, good damn it. Pulses. Pulse. Pulse. I see Kylie, she looks at me and then she starts pulsing and I'm like, Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe subconsciously I meant to forget it. And then go ahead and bring it down. Take it to the extended leg. Lift lower. So again, if you have knee pressure going, come on, put a pad underneath or wrap up your mat a little bit. Exhale, inhale. Find that glute. Push away from the floor. Pull those abs in strong. Let's go 4 more. 4. We didn't pulse here, right? 3, 2, and 1. Bring that leg all the way in. Sneak your feet out. It's classy. Just kind of wiggle it and get that foot out of there. And let's go down dog elephant, you guys. Lift and press that out. Give some wiggles. Now, if you need child's pose instead, go right ahead to child's pose. I'm going to wiggle left and right. I'm pushing my heels down to the floor. I'm cycling the breath. Slowly walk your hands to your feet in 4, all the way in 3, on 2 and 1. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, curl the spine. Slowly come up. Big breath at the top. Exhale, hands down, center heart. Roll those shoulders, and let's go ahead and grab that band. Untie it one last time. Tie it, untie it, untie it. That one made it really tight. I don't know about anyone else's, but mine needs some talcum powder. Ugh. All right. And we're going to some extension work. Oh my goodness, this is not working for me. Ugh. Sorry, guys. We're having issues. Place that at the very front of your mat. Don't worry about even tails, just kind of at the front. We need some extension. So starting at the very top here, roll it down, hands to the floor, bend those knees if you need to, you guys. Take a big breath here. Walk it out in 4, 3, full, all the way out. If you need to put the knees down, do so. 2 and 1, we're right here. Go ahead and lower the knees, uncurl the toes, and gently start to let your pelvis drop down. Don't pull your abs up and in. Think Mackenzie extension. Think loose. Now, this might be way too aggressive, which means come down all the way, place your elbows, wiggle your butt, get it loose, let your belly go, and then just gently come up. So if right here is as high as you're coming on that Mackenzie with that nice floppy position, right? Let it go. Go ahead and only come to here. And then gently come down. If that's working for you, you're going to push into those hands a little bit. Don't lift the pubic bone. Find the mobility here. Gently come up. And gently go down. And again, if you can come a little higher, go right ahead. Do not tighten the glutes. Do not pull the abs in. Keep your pubic bone anchored. And then slowly float down. So we're going to change that concept. Take the band, sneak it into the small of your back. Now, if you have the range of motion to interlace the hands, we're going to do double leg kick here, guys. I'm going to take that microphone off. If you're able to link your hands, put them in the small of the back, and let your shoulders and elbows kind of flop down as you turn a cheek, you can go here. If there's no way those hands are going to stay in the small of the back as well as stretch out this way, you're going to hold the band, and that allows your shoulders to kind of lie down. From here, with your cheek turned, a small lateral rotation, not a really big one, little lateral rotation. Pull your heels into your bum for a count of 3 pumps. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. As we push the legs out, there's a bungee cord between your hands and your heels, and you extend into the center. Don't push your belly into the floor, pull your belly up off the floor, and avoid looking up. Chin is tucked slightly. Turn your cheek the other way, bring your hands back into the small of the back, lower the legs, and pump again. 1, 2, 3. Exhale, lengthen in the center. Rotate and inhale, inhale, inhale. Rotate 3 pumps. Couple more. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach and lengthen. And again, rotate. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Reach and lengthen. We're going to do it 2 more times, 1 on each side. 1, 2, 3, and reach. Find those back extensors, the other side. 1, 2, 3, reach. Stay here in the reach. Stay here. If your hands are holding, let them go and be by your bum. Lower your legs, keep your chest line lifted, and now just extend through the shoulder. Behind the back. 5, reach that. 4, now if your legs are okay, your back is okay, pull your abs in nice and strong, flirt your feet off slightly. Those legs are heavy. Find the glutes and hams, go ahead and lift them. Let's go 4 more. And 4. Can you give me more extension through thoracic and neckline? Go right ahead. 3, don't lead with just your head though. 2, and 1, and release. Just move that band off to one side. Push yourself back and either child's pose or come right up nice and tall and open that torso. So either you're going to have the sensation of kind of wanting to round, or you're going to be okay to come up and just kind of lengthen and lift that chest line. I need you to go where you feel comfortable in that recovery. Find a couple cycles of breath there. And then we're going to do some thread the needle. That spine has worked lots of different directions. Oh, maybe we should do one of those. That was a good idea, Denise. Thigh stretch. You can blame Denise for this. So if you've got any issues going on in the knees, you might want something to kneel on. I don't have any issues. I just have a really hard floor. So I'm just going to roll this up because I just find my knees feel like they're going to jam into it. The band is quite nice on this one. So I'm going to find myself in thigh stretch. I want a small supported spine. There is a little glute connection as we go back, but there's also a good pull through the hammies, the quads happening here. Have your hands quite wide. Give a little scoop. I'm in a small lateral rotation. If you can do this in parallel, go right ahead. Lie back using your quads. Don't go Gumby in your back. Lie back using your quads. Just find the quads initially. And then come up slowly. Don't catapult. Come up slow. Let's go again. Lengthen back. Now, if you're okay, I'm going to get a bit more length through my thoracic and my cervical and extend it open. And those arms are heavy, so maybe I'll bring that up. Maybe I'm able to open that as I lengthen. And then it come up nice and slow, controlling the band. Let the arms go down. Inhale, start to come up. The arms can reach or not. You don't have to use the arms. Scoop, rib hip check. Supported spine. Lie back with your thighs. And then go ahead and expand through the chest. Slowly come out through the chest and pull up. So when I pull the band, it's across my chest. I'm actually trying to take my hands behind and my chest line is stretching it open, right? So let's do it one more time. Rib hip, lie back with the thighs. Lengthen open. As you lengthen open, pull that across the chest. Open it. Bring it up carefully. Don't catapult. And bring it all the way through. Beautiful. Throw that nasty band. Hinge at your hips. Bring your hands down. Here we're just going to thread the needle, you guys. Rotate it through. Tuck your shoulder underneath. And take a peekaboo to the sky. Now, as long as your shoulder's down, not just your head, you're welcome to bring this hand up. Grab behind your booty. Rotate your shoulder. Look to the sky. Get that beautiful rotation. Really big breath here. Then bring the hand down. Push away from the floor. Find yourself strong. Shift around a little bit, wiggle things out. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to fold that down and back towards my leg. Try and fold my shoulder underneath and then push away like I'm rolling the opposite direction. If you're okay, hand can come up and bind. Open that shoulder, look down towards your hip. Really big breath here. And then derotate all the way out. Hands strong, curl the toes, lift. And if your mat is rolled and you're slipping a bit, just go ahead and unfold that mat. Give some little wiggles as you walk your hands to your feet. And then ragdoll. So widen out your legs, bend your knees. A little tight in the back, put your elbows on your knees. If you're okay, dangle your head so you're looking through and let your arms just dangle. And here we're going to add that really modest little side to side. Find that breath. And then just let your arms dangle as you vertebrae by vertebrae by vertebrae roll and stack the spine to tall. Roll those shoulders. And let's just finish with a little shimmy here and one last big breath up, guys. Inhale, lift the heart, bring it up. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And we are done.